Hi, everybody. DJ Yoakley with you for another special Coach's Corner brought to you by our friends over at iSynergy. We are joined at this time by the living legend himself, Mr. Ryan Snyder, the head ball coach of the Lisbon Lady Blue Devils. Ryan, how are you?
I am spectacular. How about you?
I'm wonderful, man, especially after last night. What a game you guys put on the floor with East Palestine. Two teams and two programs that had that game circled without a doubt as a winnable game on their schedule, and one that they would be disappointed with a loss. So when you look at what transpired last night, for those who didn't know or weren't there to experience it, what was it like for you, both on the floor and in the locker room, from a standpoint of, are you going in with an 18-point lead at halftime, and then the third quarter, I don't even know what happened. You'll have to fill us in on that, and then come away with a win after the fourth.
We experienced everything in that game. We went from the highs of the first half where felt like we could hit any shot we wanted to all half. And then when at halftime, the girls were obviously excited. We played well offensively and defensively in the first half. And then we got out in the third quarter and we couldn't hit a shot anywhere. I think we shot around 12% in the third quarter. And sorry, I think I lost you there for a second. We good?
Yeah, you're good.
Sorry.
Okay.
I think we shot around 12% in the third quarter and just couldn't do anything right offensively, defensively. We were turning the ball over. Every negative thing that we could do as a basketball team, you as a coach never want your players to do. That's what they were doing. But this is what I love about this team. And we've had a couple losses that have been pretty large. They don't give up. They never stop. They keep the effort. And this was big for us because we need to learn how to win. We have 8 sophomores on our team right now, and we need to learn how to win. That's the biggest thing right now. So they really stepped up and made that turn in the fourth quarter. We held them in the last 4 minutes and 30 seconds to 1 point. So it was huge for us defensively to be able to step up like that in a clutch moment. And it just pushed us over the edge, and it ended up being a huge win for us there at the end.
So when you're going through almost basically you are the living, just almost like a science project of the Ohio weather. Everything that could have happened in that game, you had all 4 seasons happen to you in that 4-quarter moment in time in your season, when you had all the good stuff going and obviously excitement in the locker room, and then when just the sky is falling like Chicken Little in that third quarter. As a leader, as a coach of young minds and young athletes, how do you keep them calm in that moment and not trying to do too much, as at times it looked like they were trying to do? Palestine would go on a little bit of a run, and you try to make it up with the long ball. How do you tell your team to be patient, be mindful, and stick to the guns of what makes this Lisbon team so good?
Right. I try and stay as positive with them as I can. And even in the timeouts, it felt like I called 15 of them in the third quarter last night, but it was all positive things and what we could do to fix it. We made mistakes. They know they make mistakes. You can't dwell on those. You have to move past it. So in timeouts, it wasn't talking about anything that we did wrong. It was, hey, here's how we go forward. Here's what we need to do to fix that. Here's what you guys have done in the past. Here's what you know how to do. And it was just encouraging them and giving them reassurance that, hey, we know how to do all these things. We just have to go execute it. And they do. They're really good at making that effort to do what we want them to do. So, Coach Entrican and Coach Meek. Coach Entrican's he was our varsity coach forever. He has 200 plus wins, and Coach Meek was our point guard for the state team. And they're huge to have on the bench because the girls all love both of them, and their input is as valuable as mine every single second of the game. So they're good.
Talk to me about your senior class. We just had a chance to talk to Parker Henthorne, who had an unbelievable game last night, especially down the stretch, and she had ice, just ice running through her veins with those foul shots.
Yes.
To have leadership in today's day and age, when some people don't have seniors on their bench, some people have to live with juniors and freshmen in starting roles and in big roles. How nice is it to have this senior class that has been through the Maddie Liberatis, the Izzy Perez's, and on in the Lisbon program that has been so successful for so long?
Oh yeah, that's when you had Maddie and Izzy, they were they got to play with Maddie and Izzy, these seniors. And Maddie actually came in last week. We had a little alumni game, and Maddie came in, and you could see just the awe in some of the now sophomores, but they were eighth graders when Maddie and Izzy were seniors. And just for them to be able to play against them. But our seniors now, they learned from them and how hard you have to play every single possession, every single second, and how hard you have to go in practice. And Tabby Ketchum's a great example of that. That speed and that effort that you see in her every single game is every single second of practice. And it's nice to have those three seniors that we have with Hayfley, who can shoot the lights out. She's one of the best shooters in the league. And if you have her open for three, I feel confident that thing's getting knocked down almost every single time. And then Parker, you saw her last night live. She's really turning into a scorer, really turning into that leader and that consistent person on the floor that we need to be able to score, to go, hey, we need a bucket. We're giving you the ball to you, and you're going to go finish it. And last night when she made those 2 free throws, we were up 3 at that point with 10 seconds left. She went to the free throw line, and she's been struggling the last 2 games and just told herself at one of the games, she's like, Parker, it's just free throws. It's just free throws. And so I when she was walking up the line, I just yelled over to her, I said, Parker, they're just free throws. And
she said
smiled.
The same thing in her interview, right? That's amazing that you get that just recollection. That's awesome.
She is. Oh yeah, they're all. I love those 3. I mean, we're really going to miss those 3. Just
so
when you
every
day what they bring to the program.
The future of this program. I mean, obviously, no coach goes in thinking, okay, we want to have 3 wins this year. As I talked to Parker about, every senior goes in thinking they're going to win a state championship.
Yes.
It's what happens during that season and what keeps you motivated. What for your seniors right now? How do you keep them motivated to keep on going with the tournament right around the corner?
Right, and that's Coach Entringen. Actually, he was very blunt last week or sometime. He looked down and said, "Hey, hate to break to you, seniors, but we're not going to win a TC, or we're not going to win a EOAC championship this year." But he said, "You guys continue to work. You guys are continuing to get better, and we still have the whole second half of the season in our league where we could do damage, where we could knock off a team we aren't supposed to knock off." And I really think it's going to come the second half of the season where we're going to pick off somebody that we're not favored to beat.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, from that standpoint, with the tournament being the way that it is, I have to believe that someone's going to look at your record and not look at your film and say, okay, we want to start with a warm-up against the Lisbon. Does that motivate you, and does that sit there and you go, okay, hey, here's your chance. You want to be remembered. You want a legacy. This is the one you're going to leave.
Yep. Oh, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, if you just look at our record, you're thinking, oh, hey, this is a cakewalk in the cakewalk. We should have no problem here. But what they don't see is we've lost Tabby in the first quarter of the Southern game. Then she was out the next game. Morgan Lively's been our post player. She's been out for almost a month. She's just starting to get back into shape. And we're just now getting healthy again. We're getting healthy and getting back into shape because, there's no other shape like basketball shape. You can't just walk in from off the volleyball court and come into basketball and say, hey, I'm in shape. There's a lot different. So we're getting to that point, and the girls know, they're starting to see it, and they're starting to believe in themselves now, which is the biggest thing. I mean, when they start believing in themselves, we can be dangerous.
That's huge. Last thing I have for you, give me a characteristic of this team that maybe nobody knows and that you are so proud of, these young ladies for being able to establish on their own and being the class of 22 they're going to be remembered for.
It's heart, without a doubt. I mean, you've heard me say lots of times effort in the whole interview. There's never in the 2 years I've been coaching have I ever had to question their effort. It's every day in practice. I have to get on them here and there just like anybody, but it's not where I have to just ride them constantly about sprinting and putting time up on the clock because they aren't running hard. And if you don't get it, I mean, they're there every single day working their butts off. Games, no matter if we're up 10 or down 20, they put the same effort in every single day, and it's just their heart. I mean, they want to be there, they want to make the effort, and they want to do great things.
Oh, I love hearing that, man. Ryan Snyder, one of the best there is, one of the hardest working coaches in all of basketball. Thank you so much for your time and for your comments here today. I look forward to doing this soon, man. Now that we got you, I'm going to keep you like a fish. You're reeled in now, brother.
Anytime. I'm on board.
There he is. Thanks again, Ryan.
Hey, thank you, DJ.